And the gift of being at this point of the program, it kind of reminds me of an old saying, because you've already had so much information poured over you. You've had so much wisdom, so much knowledge. And it makes me think about that old saying that knowledge is power. You heard that saying, correct? Now that saying, is that true, yes or no? Yes. See, in my experience, it's complete and utter nonsense. It's dribble. I'll explain for why. Who in this room knows of something that would help them improve their life or grow their business and is still not doing it? See, it cannot be the knowledge that leads to the power. It can only be the implementation of the knowledge that leads to the power. I see some of you here poised, ready to take notes. I'd much rather you took notice. I'd go as far as saying, please, please, pretty please, do not write a single thing down in our time together. Nothing, nada. Not unless you're going to use it, not unless you're going to put it into practice, not unless you're going to have it make a difference in your life. Does that sound fair, yes or yes? Yes. Nice choice once again. Nice choice once again. So we're ready to get to work. We're ready to be able to make a difference. I want to understand who we are here in the room. I know we've got a lot of mortgage professionals, a lot of real estate professionals, a lot of entrepreneurs. But who in this room as a child said, when I grow up, what I'd like to be is a salesperson? Now, I figured that. Let me jump down here for a second. Have some fun with me for a second and throw some words at me, some adjectives, some describing words that would describe a stereotypical salesperson. Pushy, slimy, sleazy. Sazel, scumbag was that? Self-centered, sleazy, cheesy. Okay, what else? Pushy on their own agenda. See, if somebody used these words to describe you, somebody saw that in you when they met you for the very first time, how would that make you feel in here? I heard it down here. It's like shitty. Shitty is how it would make me feel. What if by alternative, though, I ask you not to describe a stereotypical salesperson? What if by alternative, I ask you to describe a professional salesperson?
Integrity.
Now we've got integrity. We were a liar a second ago, now we're honest. What else? Relationship-based, curious, caring, knowledgeable, transparent, valuable, passionate, process-driven. Sly? Ooh, somebody upset you once upon a time, didn't they? Ooh, concerned, charming. See if somebody used this sequence of words to describe you. How are you feeling right now? A lot better, right? A lot better. I want you to catch two tiny, massive lessons in that. Two tiny, massive lessons in that simple exercise. See, in that exercise, I changed one word, correct? I changed this from stereotypical to professional. And when I changed one word, you, my friends, changed all of the words. You saw a completely different image in your mind's eye. I changed one word. You changed all of the words. Therefore, could it be possible in many of the conversations that you're showing up with day in, day out, that other people are seeing something different? They're not seeing what you're saying. It isn't what you said that matters, it's what they saw that matters. See, being a salesperson is not a bad thing. The perception of being a salesperson is the bad thing. So that probably means if anybody ever says the words to you that you are a good salesperson, strong probability that it's not a compliment. What it probably means is stop it now, stop it please. See, we're not looking for applause from our clients and our prospects for our sales skills, right? That's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is something very different. Particularly in today's market, we're looking for gratitude. We're looking for people to understand the value we provide and for them to say thank you at the end of it. So if you thought I could teach you to be more pushy, more slimy, better at telling lies, wrong room. But if you want to understand how you can show up for others so they understand and appreciate your value at higher levels and then say thank you for it, that's exactly what we're here for. See, you're in the business of change, correct? You're helping your clients change their circumstances. The world is going through change. You come to Forward because you want to create change, yes? Question I ask for you now is, do people like change, yes or no? Let's test it for a second. Folks, do me a favor and fold your arms for me. No, not that way. Try it like the other way. Oh! It's freaking weird, right? Like you're being hugged by a stranger. You liked it though, right? You liked it. It's like, it's good for me. She feels great. She feels great. Huh. That is one of the simplest of changes I can ask you to make. Yet that change at best was uncomfortable, correct? Change at best is always uncomfortable, yet we are in the business of helping people navigate change. Let's not underestimate how difficult that is. Let's not underestimate the responsibility that comes with that too. And if you ever wonder why you get paid the big bucks, it's because you help people navigate some of the most complex decisions that exist in human existence. That's why you're worth the money when you're worth the money. Now answer me this though, salespeople, born or made, born or made? What do we think? It's kind of a trick question really. So let me rephrase it. What does a 3-year-old do when they want something? The first thing they do is they ask, right? Failing that, what do? They ask again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Failing that, what do? Whatever it takes. They do whatever it takes. I believe that every single one of us in this room was born with the innate ability to sell things. Every single one of us in this room was born with the innate ability to sell things. What we've had, though, is we've had life training out of us. We've learned things like, I want doesn't get. We've learned things like it's rude to ask. We've learned things like shut up and be quiet. Yet we were all born with the innate ability to ask for the things that we want in life. Which brings me really to perhaps probably the most important thing that I came to share with you all today. And the most important thing that I came to share with all of you today is oh yeah, that's it. When is the worst time to think about the thing you're going to say? Right? It's in the very moment when you're saying it. How many times have you walked away from an important conversation and thought shoulda, woulda, coulda? How many times have you stepped away from an important conversation and thought, who on earth was that idiot? With the person you were speaking about being oneself. How easy is it to debrief a conversation and change it? That's impossible. What if you could pre-brief that exact same conversation? Chances are you could change it, yes or yes? If you could get ready for it ahead of time. You're going to learn in our time together today just how pedantic I am about word choices. So much so that I did write this little book about them. It's a book I'm insanely proud of. I'm proud of it for a bazillion reasons. But one big one is this book right here is a genuine bestseller. We've sold now over 2 million copies, translated into over 30 different languages. And see this little book right here? This book right here, it outsold 50 Shades of Grey. And Harry Potter. Legit, it did. For one whole day. You take your wins, I'm taking mine, right? This is how we roll. This is how we roll. But why do I tell you it's a best-selling book? It's because I learned that people are good at buying books. I repeat, they're good at buying books. What are they not so good at? And then taking action on what lives inside it. So I figured if I could write the biggest tiny book possible, take all these great ideas about influence and persuasion, cram them into a tiny little book that you can get cover to cover on in 72 minutes, chances are people might read it. If I put plenty of white space around it, make the font this big, chances are people will get to the finish line. And then what they might do is they might take action, put this work to work in their world and get some results. And they do because I know they do, because every day a stranger writes to me to tell me that's been true in their life. It's a book full of what I call my magic words. What are magic words? They are words that talk straight towards your subconscious brain. Subconscious brain is powerful in the decision-making process. Why? Because it has a yes output and a no output. There is no maybe in the subconscious. See, people think that no is the enemy of yes. It isn't. Indecision is the enemy. Maybe is the enemy. Think about your own business. Look back over the last 12 months. How many people almost, potentially, possibly, perhaps, maybe made a move? What would happen if you could talk to more of those people so they could just choose one side of the line? Indecision is the enemy of progress. So if you can talk to the part of somebody's brain that is fundamentally more decisive, what you can do is you can increase the rate of action. If you can increase the rate of action, you can increase the rate of transaction. It is that easy and it's that hard. I say it's a book full of my magic words that talk straight towards the subconscious brain. If any of you here are unfamiliar with the subconscious brain, then I'll give you an example of where it serves you. Does anybody here remember like a familiar car ride? Where you remember getting into the vehicle in the morning, and then you remember arriving at the destination, and you have no idea how you got there. That was the subconscious brain that took the drive. Like, don't worry though. If anything unusual happened, conscious brain would grab the wheel. You'd be back in control in a nanosecond. Still confused about this subconscious brain? Please see it as nothing more than a little voice inside your head. That's all it is. And if you're sat there right now thinking, I haven't got a little voice inside my head, that's the little voice. See, if you can learn to speak to other people, it will give you a fair advantage in just about every conversation that you step into.